when we're analyzing who the Chiefs are, okay, and we try and do a deep dive into what this team and what has gone wrong and why they are 5-4. Um, we can break it down to, well, maybe this didn't work over here, or maybe my thing is not running the football enough, right? I keep constantly saying those things, and then somebody bring up a point about how efficient we are in plays and stuff. I think you had a tweet out that was, I was sitting there looking at it. I'm just like, well, that gives us a little picture. Okay. Some of the, analytics, but it doesn't give us, what the outcome is going to be based off of some of the things that we have, the positives of it. And I was just thinking to myself, man, if we are running the football, how more efficient would we be in certain situations? Right. So I just, when we go into the analytics, thinking about certain things, I know, there's always a conversation about other things that the Chiefs need to do, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that moving forward, man. I do believe we need to run the football a little bit more. I do. So.
Yeah, and especially when you are talking about a team that has the pass rush that Denver does, you have to run the football to keep these guys honest, because otherwise they're going to peel their ears back and just keep go ass all night.
Man, shoot. You get in third and long, second and long, that's what they live for. That's where you start playing into their hands. And so I think because, the whatever measurables it was that we were talking about, there was people was bringing up, is because we have chunk plays. Obviously, when we played, and I'm looking at this right here, Raiders, Commanders, Detroit, we were very efficient in passing the football and chunk yards and chunk plays. But does that make us lopsided in some of the things we do? Does that tell the full tale about what how good we actually are? And I think sometimes what it may do is you may be set up a few times. You might not see blind spots and thinking, well, shoot, we're very successful in what we do. But also, too, what it does, you don't learn from that success. You don't know where some of your weaknesses are. And for me, I think our weakness is, well, what good does it do if we're very efficient, or we put ourselves in a higher percentage to a positive plays, but nothing comes out of it. And also we get down on the 2, and then also we don't score. We kick the field goal.
Yeah.
So I think Jeremy's saying it's good right here, man. I like this. So every drive against Denver has to count. We got to score every time we get the ball. Every time, shoot, as long as we're getting points. I don't know if we had to score every time, but I do believe that when we do have our chances, we have to score. I'm saying this, for us to win out, we got to put up at least 4 touchdowns. We should be able to do that. Our offense is capable enough. We're good enough to put up at least 4 touchdowns, get a field goal out of it. We should be averaging somewhere about 30 to 30-something more points a game. Okay? That's how capable our offense is in doing something like that. I do believe this. We could do it against Denver. I don't think, Denver is anybody that we should be shying away from. They got a very good defense. We understand it. Very good defensive line. And they come off and they pressure you. And they can rush the passer. So what do? You negate a lot of that. Why? With traps. When I sit there and I watch the Raiders film, I analyze that. What the Raiders did, they started trapping, Benito. They started running to the outside. They was getting a lot of crack blocks. So when you start doing a lot of those cross blocking and things of that nature, man, it messes teams up. Get it up there to the linebackers in the secondary. Let them guys make the tackles. So I think we gotta exploit some of the things that they do well. And what does that mean? Run it straight at them.
And I think kind of this comment here, every drive against Denver has to count. And I do think one of the stat nuggets I put on our Twitter account was the fact that Denver is one of 2 teams that trailed every game this year. New Orleans Saints being the other team. And if you look at a lot of their wins they've had, those are fourth quarter comebacks where they're trailing and they kind of put it together in the last quarter. But when I was doing the research, I also looked and saw this. So of every game that they've trailed in, 6 of those 10 games, it's coming on that first drive. And very similar to us, right? Spags will kind of let an offense kind of dictate what they want to do in that first drive, just feel them out a little bit. But this is a really good defense, but every team they played against, 6 of the 10 teams have scored field goals in their first drive. Texans missed a 51-yard kick on their first drive, like narrowly. But I mean, these teams, the Titans, on their first drive of the year, the rookie's first drive, they drive down, they score a field goal, and that's one thing we have to start fast, and we got to keep it on them. And second half, and we are the team to receive the ball at halftime, score. And I think this kind of gives us seeing this, and obviously they haven't allowed a touchdown on the first drive yet. But for me, it's like, okay, Andy Reid's notorious for being great after the bye. That's because he had 2 weeks to game plan, 22-4 off a bye for Andy Reid. And his first 15, that's something he kind of like babies and nurtures throughout the whole week. And you're getting him 2 weeks to develop a 15-play game plan against this team who has notoriously this year has not been good on the first drive of games. And I think that's a big star for us, is to start quick and kind of start positive in this game. And yeah, does that mean run the ball and have more of a balanced attack? 100%. So I do think, and also too, I just think overall as a team, we want and need this game more than they do. And I think that's going to kind of you're going to kind of see that right away, how bad we want this game right out the gate.
So I don't know, that statement, do we want this game more than they do?
I mean, I say from a record of they're 8-2, we're 5-4. We lose that game, it's 5 backs against the wall. They lose that game, okay, they go to 8-3. They're still the number one team in the division at that point.
Yeah, but every game is important. Every single game is important in the NFL. They understand that. Sean Payton absolutely understands that. And one thing you don't want to lose to, you don't want to lose to the Chiefs. Okay, you don't want to give it up to those guys if you don't have to. So offense didn't look that good. Just barely beat the Raiders, who still look pedestrian most of the time. And Sean understands, man. Look, you want to get ahead as much as possible. Shoot, you don't want to be 8-3, and you're sitting over here saying, well, shoot, what are we doing now? Because everybody starts catching up to us. It's only a matter of time. You just start stacking wins. And they know the Chiefs, and they understand the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. We are still a dangerous football team because of who we have, who is coaching us, our history of who these guys are. Like I said, I will always defer to Super Bowl teams and playoff teams as being someone that understands how to win games, right? Denver's this year, they're the Chiefs this year because they're winning these, last drives and stuff. Man, shoot, that's gonna come and bite you. I guarantee you. Look, Sean Payton is not. He's like, okay, we keep winning like that, but there's gonna be some times we ain't gonna win against teams like this. And what matters is playoffs. And you sit over here, you just barely winning games. Hey, you want to start winning games handily, decisively. And it's like, that's not always good to just barely win games. Like we was winning games like that last year, and I'm just like, hey, it ain't always good doing that. But we was down Rashid Rice, Howard Brown. You know what I mean? We were down a couple of guys. Our defense was doing a great job holding up. So the reason we was able to come out is because we have experience. Guys that don't blink. Denver, I don't think they got guys over there. Them suckers is blinking. Them suckers like that. You looking around the huddle, everybody like you looking at both, and you like, shoot.
Yeah.
All of a sudden is blinking.
They have a lot of green guys on the team.
A lot of green guys. Some dudes, yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, you got who's Franklin out there? Shoot.
Yeah.
Everybody's sitting over saying, man, we're going to pull this out. And the Chiefs always just assume because of, our confidence and who we are, we going to absolutely. You give us a chance, we'll pull it out.
I mean, okay, so I remember the other day I kind of made a comment to you. It was on the Monday show. You didn't respond back to me. You kind of made a face. Do you think it is a must-win this weekend? Because as far as the numbers wise, if Denver wins, they boost their chance to winning the AFC West to 70% chance. Just for us to make the playoffs, if we win, we have an 84% chance to make the playoffs. That's not an AFC West stat. Although yeah. Vegas still has us as the favorite to win the AFC West, which I find funny. And then if we lose this game, it takes us from to 84% if we win to make the playoffs to about 54% to make the playoffs.
55%. I seen that
55%.
little, there's analytics again. I mean, it definitely gives us a better opportunity, a better chance, no question about it. Is it a must win? I think every game is a must win. I mean, for us at 5-4, that's the way we're going to approach it. But we're not going to be desperate. There's a difference between desperation and must win, like, oh my gosh. And it's just like, hey, man, we're going to take every game one game at a time. We're going to dismantle this team that we got this week, and then we'll worry about the next team, the following week. And so that's the way it has to be. So I think when we say must win, there's a sense of this urgency that you have to have. Man, there is a little bit of urgency. Travis was talking about that, but it is not desperation, right? It's not like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? You can't play that way. You start playing like that, you put yourself in a bad, bad spot, okay? Because that's when you start talking about shaky knees that's out there, all right? And you got to walk out on your toes with your chest out saying, look, we know who we are. When we come in, we're going to win this game. This is how we're going to do it. And so it takes Andy Reid and everybody else in that locker room to get this thing going the second half. That's why Andy knows how to go back into the lab. Yes, you had to analyze everything that you did and evaluate everything that went wrong the first half. You can't listen to and all the measurables and think, oh, well, shoot, this is what this means. And you look very efficient on this when you know that certain things didn't come to fruition. You can't sit there and be like, well, shoot, we got chunk plays and, we look good over here. Well, that looks good on paper, okay? But what are the results? Are we getting the touchdowns when we need? Are we moving the chains when we should? Are we staying on the field when we're supposed to? And when I'm sitting over seeing that, in a couple of games where we're stalling out second half, okay, or going 3 and out, that's not a good look for me, okay, or for the Chiefs. And for guys that are being successful, guys that are very good at what they do, it absolutely eats them up. That's why Travis Kelce's pissed right now, because he's sitting there saying, we can look at analytics and say, oh my gosh, the efficiency of what we are. But what I see out here on the field, the intangibles, I'm not seeing us give us our best shot. And he's sitting there saying, I don't think I put our guys in a better position than what we should have. And he recognizes that. Okay. Well, Nerd can say, hey, well, but your efficiency is really good. That's what it looks like, coach. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Okay. But we're not hitting guys in the mouth, moving people. That's not what we're doing. Where's your analytics on that? When I'm sitting there looking and we getting beat in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the intangibles, So I can have Poindexter up there. I love Poindexters, okay? I like to say I am, all right? And I just had to say, like, look, there's certain things that you need to do to win games. That's when it comes down to when it comes down to the wire, Marcus. That's the moxie. That's what we talk about, the toughness. That's being forged in that fire. When you win games that you won last year, you're not winning this year. There's a difference, okay? And so as much as you quantify everything that you want to, and it gives us a good picture, it doesn't tell us the whole story. And so that's why it needs to change the second half is we need to have us a whole different mindset and mentality about winning games and destroying teams when we get them. Is this a must-win game with Denver? We got to go in thinking we're going to beat this team by 3 touchdowns. And I'm challenging everybody in that room, everybody in that huddle, everybody that's in that locker room to do that on the offensive and defensive side of the football. When we sit there saying, like, look, Denver shouldn't score more than 17 points against our defense. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. Cortland Sutton he's out for lunch. All these other guys out here still just trying to make it. Bo Nix is back there. I don't know what he's doing. He's a good quarterback, but still, hey, sophomore slump, right? You don't know what this is, okay? They don't look very pretty. And these are the guys that's having shaky knees by winning at the end. Man, we pulled that out. And glad having each other. So that's what I'm talking about. It has to be a whole different mindset coming in the second half, but the Chiefs have to be. And then when I'm talking about must win, we thinking we're going to win out on every single game, but we got to go into week in and week out, sitting there saying, what did we not do this last game? And how do we get better? Because our ending, What we think of, our standard, what we're talking about when I put it up here is Super Bowl. It's AFC Championship, baby. That's what we do. You know, I see some people, oh man, we might be out of the playoffs this week. Man, what are we talking about? Ain't nobody in that locker room that surrendered to that yet. That's almost a non-factor to us. That's not even a reality we even think about. And we shouldn't. We shouldn't. Look at that. I like that. The right here, the thumbnail you got on here with Pat over. A must. A must. We're gonna win. That's what we're gonna do. So
can you for people who obviously all of us who didn't play in the NFL, when you talk about there's a different kind, right? There's desperate teams, and you don't want to be a desperate team. Just for all of us, you said shaky knees. Why don't you want to be a desperate team? Because when you say these games are must wins, or we need to win these games, what's the difference between a desperate team versus a team that needs to go out there and just go game by game and day by day kind of thing?
I think desperation, man. You start doing things that's really uncharacteristic of you. You start running a lot more flea flickers, and we trying to figure out things how to score. Well, we know what we got. We know the horses in our stable. We know what they can do. We got fast guys. We got a tight end who was 36 years old. Everybody said it's too old, and he's one of the top ones in the league, as he should be. He's been doing that. We got Reid Rice back, who's been wanting to play football, who understands, man, this right here situation, I could have been a lot differently for me. I'm taking it for everything in it's worth. Hollywood Brown is sitting over there trying to get a new contract. If he's found a new home, he wants to stay here. And then we've been talking about how bad our running backs are, subpar this and all of that. And all them guys are sitting there saying, man, give us the football. Let us run. And then we can show you what we can do. And so all we've been doing is talking down on a lot of different ones, okay? And the offense on that side of football want to show it. Same thing on the defense side of the football. Spags and analyze. Okay, well, shoot, we didn't let a couple games go. We didn't go get anybody on the defensive line during free agency. Okay, we got the guys in the room there. Everybody in here needs a swing. And I'm talking about not just one punch. I'm talking about 2 or 3. We got to make sure we come out here and make our mark. We got to be a little bit more explosive in things that we do defensively. Okay, we need to start wrecking shop, and we're not doing it. We're not generating enough pressures. That's got to change. We got to get more sacks. That's got to change. How do we get it out of those guys? That's the question. And that's what we need to find out in that room. Well, who's in here? Who's bought in all the way? See, because there's one thing about execution, then there's a whole other thing about, shoot, this is who you are. This is who you are. And this is what we need to find out, what everybody's made of. Secondary looks good. Let them lock down like they've been doing. Let our linebackers run around and eat like they should be doing. If young boy need to come in, young guy with boxer, let him come in a little bit. Put a little fire into some guys out there and start playing out there the way that you need that you should be playing. We need to go out there and have a good product out there, man. Because what we see at 5 and 4 is not Chiefs football. And everybody in there understands that. There might be a couple of guys in it. Yeah, man, I have this. Travis is sitting around here like this. He ain't happy. Pat ain't happy. They ain't satisfied with this. They not. So we're going to find out exactly who we got the second half. That's what we're going to find out. We need to get it out of everybody in that room. And I know we will. I know we will. So, hey, man. Hey, we can have guys come on the the practice squad. It sounds good. We can get all these. Hey, it sounds great. Hey, man, we need everybody in this room. We need everybody that's part of this organization to pull in the way that they should be. Everybody needs to step their game up to a whole different level this second half. because we got to go in and remind everybody who we are. We didn't show that against the Bills. And then we had to sit there and watch Miami decimate them like they did. Oh, my gosh. That was embarrassing on our part. We sit there saying, how do we let Miami down there? They surfing in the locker room. And I'm like, good for them. Good for them. But you know what they did? They just exposed what we should have been exploiting. And we missed that part. We missed it. And we knew. We said that Dad got it.
Yeah.
So
maybe they committed to the run, which is what we should have done all along. What did you make of a Pat's press conference today? Because we talked about it last week, the Buffalo Bills body language thing. They asked him, did you see that too? And he said, thanks to the Buffalo Bills letting me know.
Hey, man. Hey, shoot. Cool. We use all of that.
Yeah.
It's good information. But then, somebody happy is like, oh man, we look at their body. Okay, cool. Then maybe we'll sucker them next time, if there's a next time. But all they did was show also too, man, there's another blind spot. We didn't see it. We giving up our tail. There's our signs. We tipping our hand. It needs to change. So how does that change, Marcus? Every route looks like a 9 route, baby. That's what it does. Every route look like we're going to go. That's how we got to run it. That's the way it has to happen.
100%.
So,
Jeremy Gallagher asked, what exactly position group needs to improve the most, JD, after the bye?
You want to go offense and defense, Jeremy, or just one? If
you had the first position group that comes to mind.
D-line.
Yeah, that's where my head went.
Yeah, D-line. No doubt, D-line. Look, trust the guys they got in the room. They trust them. Trust them too. So we just need to see it. We need to see it. Generate Shaq pressures and sacks. These guys got to be relentless up there on that line, man. We got to win a line of scrimmage on both sides of football. And the second group I was going to say, Marcus, offensive line. Yes, sir, Randy. Our line right there needs to work. We need to be bullies up front. And we're not. When they say games are won up there, that's what games are won. Does part of that 5-4 reflect that? Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Does that? I mean, we talk about the offensive line. Obviously, we have a lot of new parts to the team. Right, start of the season out, we had a totally new left side, and then they kind of got used to each other a little bit. But then our left tackle goes away, and it's new offensive lineman. Is there going to be kind of a growing pain again to have Josh Simmons back? No growing pains. You don't think so?
So can't forget how to play football. You know what I'm saying? If you forgot how to play football in 4 weeks, you're a first-round pick for a reason. Heck, he missed all last year because of a knee injury. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. I don't have no problem. Look, I ain't got no question about him whatsoever. I don't. And I do believe Sumate this week is going to show me who you are. You got a big boy in front of you. He's a monster. And I want to see him battle it out. This is a very good test for him. When I was sitting there and I was analyzing their defense, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a good test for King Suma. Sumate's got to win this one.
And actually, that I totally forgot about this, but his first real gameplay at guard was in that 38-0 game where he got blown out by the Broncos at the end of the year. He actually looked good in that game at the left guard spot. That was his first taste of guard spot against those guys.
Yeah, a little attaboy. You on a whole different level now, baby. You starting.
Yeah.
Now, everything is real. Now you're trying to assert yourself to being a bully on his side. Zach Allen, he's not going to be playing around, man. Hey, man, you did a good job. You ain't going to hear from him. He's throwing guys on their tail. That's what I was watching. He's a monster. He's going to come every single rep. We talking about bringing your lunch pail and hard hat to work. This is who this guy is. You better be ready.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what these guys can do this week. I mean, it's a big test for these guys, and just to know that Simmons is back, I feel a lot more. Not saying anything about Jalen Moore, but to know that Simmons is back there, I feel comfortable about this head to head in the trenches.
I do too. And even if it had to be Jalen Moore, okay, Jalen, step up. Let's go. You got you a good assignment with Benito. We know what they bring. And guess what, Marcus? Those guys got to be ready. They got to be ready because things happen. So
yeah,
don't sit there with your shoelaces untied on the sideline. Having your corn dog thinking you good and looking at everybody. You better tape up, right? Yeah. Hey, you in? Let's go. You are in, right? You are in. Put the corn dog down. You are in.
Talking to me, Coach.
Yeah. Give me a corn. Get her. What the heck you doing? All those guys, everybody, look, 50 locked in. Locked in, Marcus. You got to be locked in the second half of the season, man.
Yeah.
There's a reason Vegas has us up here. Vegas knows. They know who we are.
Yeah.
Vegas like, hey, I don't know about betting against the Chiefs. I don't know. Man.
I mean, hey, and I'll say this: Vegas knows that they don't put lines up there just for they know what they're talking about. I mean, like the Baltimore Ravens, for example, it's a good example. They're on a 3-game win streak. They were 1-5. When they were 1-5, they were still the favorite to win that division. And now you see a 3-game win streak. I mean, Pittsburgh's kind of fallen off a little bit. I mean, they're right there now. They're a game behind. So I mean, Vegas lines, they have it set for a reason there, and they have us still as the favorite. And I know people want to write us off, but we're still a favorite.
Still a favorite, man. We are nipping at everybody's heels. And we want people, please play us to the left. Please sleep on us. Please do that.
Now,
be the next victim.
I know you don't like ifs and negative questions and negative hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Let's say, I mean, I don't think this is going to happen. Let's say we do lose on Sunday.
Okay.
At 5-5 going into Indianapolis. Is that desperate hours?
Yeah, I mean, if you 5-5, you still finish off 12-5.
Yeah. So not at what point is it desperate hours? I guess is my question.
I don't. When you start doing a number, we start like, oh shoot, we can't get into playoffs. Well, we got to look at somebody else to get us in the playoffs. 12-5, man, you still there. You still in there. You still in there. Look, and if it comes down to it, all you need to do is get into the playoffs, whatever it is. But look, we're going to take care of business first things first. That's what needs to happen. We're going to start with them. Denver first, then Indy, okay? I told you that's going to be the game. Indy's going to be the game.
Yeah.
Of course. But all of these, same thing. Dallas, cook them turkeys up real good.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.